A century, 100 years of worship on the same special piece of ground, growing in parallel with the new model city. From a half-acre lot to a full city block and beyond, of messages and music, births and baptisms, the congregation of First Baptist Church of Kingsport has written its history on the circle in the heart of the city. Loving God and loving people, bridging generations. This is some of that story. During 1962 and 1963, the church undertook a complete renovation of the sanctuary. A primary change was seating. The old wooden opera seats were replaced by pews. Among other changes were chandeliers, a change in the steps in front of the church, and large gold lettering on the pediment letting the world know that this was First Baptist Church. Meanwhile, Dr. William J. Purdue accepted the church's call as pastor. Morning worship services were televised on cable Channel 4 beginning in November 1965, while radio broadcasts continued on different stations for morning and evening services. Toward the end of the 60s, a long-range planning committee investigated how church facilities would meet future needs. Based on their report, plans were drawn up for expansion that would double the church physical plant. All the remaining properties on the block, bounded by Sullivan, Charlemont, and Holston Streets, were purchased. The plan included a new 1,600-seat sanctuary with underground parking and a wing with a fellowship hall, gymnasium, office area, and preschool. But when bids came in, they were much higher than expected. The low bid was $2.4 million, or $16 million in 2017 dollars. The church pursued the most needed additions and deferred others. The new sanctuary would have to wait. Meanwhile, a convenient parking lot would be built on its site, and work got underway on the badly needed activities wing, finished in 1972. The fellowship hall provided a much more functional place for large meetings and especially for meals. The gym provided much needed space for all-weather recreation and outreach to the community. New areas for children made possible new preschool and Mother's Day Out programs. Space was provided for expanded First Baptist offices and, for a few years, housed the new Sullivan Baptist Association. The church library found a much more spacious home. The church now added staff to meet changing needs, including ministries of youth, activities, students, children, and senior adults. Leading those programs have been David Downing, Larry Meredith, Bobby Piercy, Robin Lindsay Wilson, Michael McKnight, James and Trish Jackson, Jackie Dolan, Danny Sylvie, Cindy Francisco Woodworth, Penny Kelly, Carrie Upshaw, and Mark Sumrall. Dr. William J. Purdue retired in 1979, and Dr. Frank Hawkins was called as pastor the next year. Chip Bishop served as associate pastor from 1981 to 1987, and Ron Davis became associate pastor in 1989, retiring in 2015. Danny Sylvie transitioned to associate pastor in 2016. In 1982, First Baptist launched a full-service senior residential facility named Baysmont. As construction was getting underway, the Holston Presbytery joined the project. In 1989, Asbury Communities purchased the complex and now operates it as Asbury Place Kingsport Baysmont Campus. A number of First Baptist members continue to reside there, and the center continues to expand. 1991 to 1992 saw the largest renovation in church history. Every part of the church campus was affected. A welcome center by the semicircle off Holston Street provided direct access to both the sanctuary and educational buildings. Matching brick covered the walkway to the activities building, with a direct entrance added to the church office area. The sanctuary had a facelift. Pilasters lined up with ceiling beams, with new barrel-vaulted ceilings and recessed lighting. The old chandeliers would find their way to the fellowship hall, which was enlarged. The size of the pulpit area increased, and new audio-visual equipment was installed in the sanctuary and fellowship hall. An elevator permitted stair-free access to all floors. Over the years, water pipes and drains, sprinkler systems, and electrical conduit had been installed with little regard to appearance. The renovation concealed unsightly fixtures and added new floor coverings, ceilings, and lighting. Perhaps the most exciting feature of the renovations was the chapel, built from the upper space of the original sanctuary, which had been hidden and unused for 50 years. The architects finally found a way to build a floor, and with the original 1916 roof, this reclaimed jewel is now used again for meetings, weddings, funerals, and other special occasions, as well as a place for quiet meditation or prayer. Frank Hawkins retired in 1999. Dr. Marvin Cameron came as pastor in 2001 and continues to serve to this day. Next time on First Baptist Church of Kingsport, the first 100 years, we take a closer look at worship through the years, with a special emphasis on the role of music.